Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Endless Honeymoon Podcast.
I'm your host, Natasha.
And I'm her assistant, Moshe. And we got a letter. We got a lot of letter over here. So once in a while...
We got a letter we want to read.
Once in a while, our listeners write in with their concerns, comments, questions, propositions. I've been propositioned a lot.
I actually got addressed to my house a 52-page philosophy from a prisoner.
Oh, that's kind of a comfortable feeling.
Yeah, that was and I started reading it, and it was sort of like the ramblings of a crazy person.
It didn't reach you? It didn't resonate with you on any level?
No.
Do you have any highlights? Do you remember?
Well, I don't want to shout it out.
Oh, okay. But you did just shout it out.
But it definitely had, there was a philosophy with a name.
You know, right now, somewhere...
And he kept signing his name to it.
In a cafeteria in Pelican Bay Prison, there's 10 prisoners sitting around, and one of them they're all listening to the Endless Honeymoon podcast, as they always do. And one of the guys is like, she got my letter!
I wish it was an email and not addressed to my home.
Well, the internet access in the prison system is spotty, as they say.
All right. Well, here is a letter that came to our email. This is the right way to send me a letter, everybody. Not to my home address that is not public.
Not a handwritten screed that says the star Natasha Leggero. It was addressed to the star Natasha Leggero.
Oh man, I should have kept that part. I like that.
Dear married couples, you two are wonderful.
It says dear married comedians.
Oh, sorry. Dear married...
I mean, you're reading someone's letter. You shouldn't change it, right?
I mean, I made a mistake, honey. But you know what I love about you is that I can always count on you to point it out.
You're welcome.
On this holiday spirit.
Nothing gets, no stone left unturned.
Yeah, no mistake left behind.
Yeah.
Dear married comedians, you two are wonderful, and I truly believe provide a necessary service that models the nuanced and varied tools relationships rely on to succeed. Well, I couldn't agree more. You want to do the next line?
Sure. Well, this is all to this is all one person, though. I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm a 57-year-old Italian dad with sons about to leave the nest. I've been married 24 years.
Moshe has modeled a lot of positive behavior for me on how to manage an independent and strong-willed, I think the subtext there is, biatch, spouse. My wife's a handful, too, in a good way, like you, Ms. Leggero. This feels
like an
attack.
Yeah. Okay.
Or perhaps not written by a 57-year-old Italian dad, but perhaps by a let's say early 40s Jewish dad posing as a 57-year-old Italian dad who actually co-hosts a podcast with you and took on an assumed identity in order to write this letter. All right, you can do the next one.
Hold on. I also want to say that...
Yes?
All right, never mind.
What?
No, I'm just saying, like, a lot, like, my fans on the podcast are like all the young girls, like all the...
And mine are all the older dads.
Yeah, the people who are like
57-year-old dads.
Still stuck in this like old, like, man should be in charge type of thing.
Well, okay. I don't know where you're getting your demographic. Did you do some sort of census on who it is that your fans are?
I did, actually.
Yeah, okay. All right.
With Harvard.
You worked with Harvard on a census for this podcast? Mm-hmm. All right, go ahead. Next line. I'm going to like
Why
this
are you
one.
making me read this?
Okay, I'll do it. I write supporting Moshe in his effort to bring the no-name, I think he means our child, to Burning Man. I have never gone, so this isn't about burner lust. It's about historic resolution. Okay, I like that you supported me. I'm losing you here. I don't know what that means.
All right, you read the rest of this.
Women have wanted men to step up / This is like straight up incel writing.
Hey, these are your fans. This is who you were sticking up for.
These are our fans. He said, you're both wonderful, and I believe provide a necessary service that models the nuanced and varied tools relationships rely on to succeed. So let's see what tools he's garnered from this podcast. Women have wanted men to step up / participate and share the role of nurturing caregiver since the equal rights movement of the 60s. I sense Moshe, like I did, takes his role as a father with integrity, honesty, and energy. He seems like a really great dad. Would you agree so far?
Yes, you are.
The no-name is incredibly lucky for his clarity, sobriety, and his modeling of love for the women, the Italian and his mom.
Who's the Italian?
Wait, the modeling love for women, the Italian and his... Oh, both you and my mother. My two lovers, the two women that I have relations with.
Okay.
Both you, the Italian, and my mother. Ms. L, your resistance feels like reverse patriarchy. All right, buddy, you've lost me, dude. First of all, it's so funny.
No, these are the types of people that think you should bring a kid to Burning Man.
First of all, it's so funny that he identified himself as an older Italian man. And then towards the end of the letter, he's like, What this is clearly reverse sexism. Okay.
You don't want to finish it?
Yeah, I'll finish it. Ms. L, your resistance feels like reverse patriarchy. What would that be? Matriarchal mania? All right, dude, this letter is coming off so unlikable and not actually helping me get my kid to Burning Man. Do you honestly believe Moshe wouldn't be completely devoted to the safety and enjoyment of the no-name above even his own? This is a life-affirming memory in the making of a daughter and her father. I ask you to be open and not clit block the possibility.
This is the first time I've heard clit block.
I like that part. He got me at the end, actually, with clit block. Don't clit block me, honey.
Did he make that up?
Yeah, I think he must have. With love and consistent laughs, R. Well.
Because at first I was like, Clint Black. Like.
With love and Clint Black.
Well, I was like, what is he saying at the end here? I was trying to scan it to make sure. We don't always read these things before our producer gives them to us. But you know what?
That is an interesting angle, that the fact that you aren't letting me take our child to Burning Man is actually it's actually sexist.
No, clit block is when you like care more about the safety of your child.
Listen, honey, I agree with him I really agree with him here. It would be a life-affirming memory in the making for a daughter and her father. I do believe that part. But maybe then she'll like join a circus when she could have like done something better. Better than joining a circus?
No offense.
What could be better than joining a circus?
I don't know. Being a lawyer.
We did just go to her holiday.
I think actually being a yoga teacher might be a little better than joining the circus.
We just got back from her holiday pageant fair at her school, and it was very beautiful. But I did have a thought. I thought, I think maybe she's gonna not go into stagecraft. I think it's possible that her destiny lies somewhere else.
Well, maybe we shouldn't push that.
I certainly don't. You're the one that's always taking her to auditions.
I don't take her.
What are you doing?
Oh my
Natasha,
God!
Are you joking
Moshe,
right now? Are you?
I do not take her to auditions.
You're literally.
The only thing I've done is gotten her a piano lesson.
You're literally constantly driving her to commercial auditions. Every single day you take her out of school and drive her to commercial. She just did a Cialis commercial. Are you kidding? All right, she doesn't take her to auditions. I admit.
But I do get her
it.
piano lessons because I'm like always wanting to like.
I see her as a songwriter. I can see that. That part I see. She's like going to be Sia,
but not a performer.
I think she'll be Sia, but without the turn when she did the wig on her face umbrella thing, where she's like, Sia must be Sina.
Well, she did this thing that was really upsetting to me and Moshe, and it was the grand finale of the pageant, which is.
She sig-heiled. And we asked her not to do that.
No, she had the song memorized. Like she was just singing it all the time for 2 weeks. It's actually really long.
Yeah, it's like a Randy Newman
I couldn't
song
believe
almost.
she knew every single word. And then as soon as it started, she put her hand in front of her face so we couldn't see that she wasn't singing.
She just didn't sing.
Didn't sing, and then kind of mumbled like one verse.
She is in kindergarten, but she's also grounded.
No.
She's grounded. And she's grounded for the entire winter break because she didn't sing.
She's not. That's also a joke, but I guess I'm asking out there if anyone knows, is it age appropriate for it to all just,
of course.
You think?
Must be. Yeah, I saw a kid.
She was like, she knew the whole thing.
Here was the good thing. I saw her mumbling and not singing. I go, damn it. And then I looked over and there was a little boy picking his nose and eating it.
Right in the spotlight.
And I thought, you know what? It's a spectrum. Like... yeah, okay.
But most of the kids were singing.
But it could be worse. Well, she could have been out there like trying to do a little jazz and be a star. That would have been nice, but that didn't happen. But she also wasn't in front of 100 people and the entire school picking her nose and eating it. Like, it's a spectrum, and she's right in the middle. And I feel okay about that. Natasha, I'm in a bit of a ruche.
Well, yeah, let's go.
Let's do it. Let's do these dang. We got some dang ass callers.
And I'll try not to clit block with my motherly ways.
Well,
that's funny. Like cop blocking.
I'm just a 57-year-old Italian, and all I'm saying is you take the girl to Burning Man, and if not, you know what that is. It's just classic reverse sexism. Hey, Tosh.
Yeah, Moshe?
New year, new you, new gut, no poo.
You laugh, but gut health is very important, Moshe.
I don't laugh. I take it seriously too, and so do the people at Ritual. They have made a 3-in-1 supplement. It's just a daily supplement with clinically studied prebiotics, probiotics, and a postbiotic to support a balanced gut microbiome. Why Ritual, Natasha? Tell the folks why you love it.
Well, I love the daily 3-in-1 prebiotic and
probiotic and postbiotic.
With 2 of the world's most clinically studied probiotic strains to support the relief of mild and occasional bloating, gas, and my Uncle D.
Uncle Dida. And I wouldn't even say you had it occasionally.
Oh, my God.
I would call it constantly. Here's the thing. Postbiotics provide fuel to the cells that make up the gut lining to support a healthy gut barrier.
There's a delayed release capsule designed to help survive the harsh conditions of the upper GI tract, all in one minty capsule. No refrigeration needed, because here's what happens. You put your stuff in the refrigerator, then you forget to take it, and then you only take the stuff that's out, or you leave it out, and then it gets old and stale, and you can't take it, and then you just never take vitamins.
And Ritual's been tested, rigorously tested and validated by a third party for allergens, microbes, and heavy metals. Now, when it comes to my music choice that I play to my daughter every morning getting her ready for school, yeah, I want heavy metal. But when it comes to my 3-in-1 gut health supplement, I don't want no metals.
Ritual supplements are vegan, non-GMO, project verified, gluten and major allergen free, certified B Corp, and made traceable.
Ritual is also female founded. It's a B Corp that's female founded. And what is a B Corp? It means that they are holding themselves accountable to not just their company's financial health, but also to the health of people and our planet.
There's no more shame in your gut game. Symbiotic and Ritual are here to celebrate, not hide your insides. Get 40% off your first month for a limited time at ritual.com/honeymoon.
This offer is available only through January 31st. You got a month to get on it. Start Ritual or add Symbiotic Plus to your subscription today. That's ritual.com/honeymoon for 40% off and get your gut in check.
All right. Calling now is Lucy from St. Louis. Lucy from St. Louis. Lucy from Louis. We've got Lucy on the line. Hello, Lucy. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Oh, we're wonderful. How can we help?
Like you probably said, I'm from St. Louis, and my mom just announced that she's going to be moving here sometime in the next 6 months. And I know that you guys went through that with your mom, Moshe, so I wondered if you have any advice, I'm especially looking for like how to set up some boundaries because we haven't lived in the same place for the last 7 years. So I thought I'd ask.
Natasha, this is all you.
So this is your mom?
My mom, yeah.
And you're married?
No, I live with my partner of the last 4 years, so.
No kids?
No kids.
And how often does he want to see your mom? How often do you want to see your mom? It sounds like these boundaries are for you more than like him.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. So, we don't talk to my mom that much. Like I appease her by calling her like once every 1 to 2 weeks. But honestly, it's been really good for our relationship to have this distance between us.
She's like, I'm going to be taking that distance away.
Right. Like she's already like, I really want to get to know your boyfriend a lot better. And like, how do I
do not like this.
Yeah, me either. So I can't control it. Like she's moving here and I don't have control over that. But I am looking for advice on how I control like my reaction and just setting some physical boundaries even.
Are you uncomfortable that she's coming? Do you wish she weren't?
I mean, part of me, yes, because she's been dangling it in front of me. Basically, she grew up here and we have a lot of family here. So it makes a lot of sense. And the main reason that she wants to move back here is to take care of my grandparents who do need help. So like, I can't say no, but like also, yeah, personally, I don't really want her here.
So the good news, Lucy, is that she has a lot to occupy her.
True. That's what I've tried to been like focusing on.
I mean, she's got an elder to take care of. She's, this whole I really want to meet your boyfriend, like,
and get to know him much better. There was so many qualifiers.
Yeah.
Really get to know much better.
Well, I have the perfect thing. For that part. For managing your own relationship with her, that's something you got to work on. But for how much she's around your boyfriend, you can be like, listen, Mom, until I really know who's going to be the one, like, I just don't want to get to, like, you have a great excuse in that. And you don't have to tell your boyfriend that. But, like, I'm assuming that your boyfriend doesn't really want to hang out with your mom that much.
No, he doesn't. And she came to visit like 6 weeks ago or something, and they ended up getting kind of stuck together outside talking for a while. And she's just a chatterbox, and she'll like really talk about anything for as long as anybody's listening. So he's already experienced her quite a bit, and like we both know kind of what we're getting into with that.
You
I
could
will say
ask
also,
him, you could say, honey, do you think like when my mom moves here, I'm just curious, like how often, like if she came over for dinner once a month, would that be cool? And you don't have to say
yeah,
the words once a month to her, but you can
right.
schedule it a very, concentrated night. Like if you guys do just Shabbat or whatever, Sunday night spaghetti
Here's the
night.
problem with everything you're saying, Natasha.
What?
All of this would be great advice if it weren't for Lucy's last name. Now, knowing Lucy's last name, I'm getting a bit of a picture of what this mom might be like.
So you're saying Jewish mothers are overbearing?
Well, I mean, that is a
Your mom's not
philosophy.
Jewish and she's overbearing.
My mom is Jewish.
I mean, she's not like she converted.
Right.
What you're
So
saying is
perhaps-
about
perhaps she converted into the but she is a bit and in fact is a bit overbearing. But the point of all of this is that it's I have a feeling your mother will react very negatively to any overt boundaries set. Is that correct?
Yeah, basically I've been able to set some boundaries with her without saying that I'm setting those boundaries. Like I'll only call her when I'm on my way somewhere, so it's like, a set amount of time. So that isn't really going to work here. I will also say that she has already asked how much we see my partner's family. Um, so I answered that with we see them, about once a month. So I think like along those lines, she's
oh, that's
kind of already,
perfect.
That was really
yeah,
smart
she's
of you.
already kind of
Do they
expecting
live
something
here?
like that. Yeah, they also live here.
Do you in fact see them once a month, or is that a lie?
Yeah, about once a month.
This is how I think you should. Where's she moving from?
She's moving from Phoenix, Arizona, which is where I grew up.
You should obviously just move to Phoenix the day she gets to St. Louis. It seems like such a clear path for you.
So we just switch spots.
Yeah, just
perfect.
swap. I think that. What do you think, Natasha?
Well, it's
tell them what you did.
Well, first of all, I will say it's so interesting to, if you did have kids, this would be great.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
she's actually going to be giving back something. You could like have a place you could drop your kid off forever, in emergency or once a week or whatever. So I'm just saying it's like without the kid, she's kind of useless. So I just think you have to be very
strategic
and firm and, just so your boyfriend's not annoyed every time she's over, just maybe speak to him and say, if I invite her over around once a month, and then you go see her more than that. You go have a coffee
Right.
with her, come to her house, maybe
Right.
once a week. You have to decide.
What's your sweet spot? How often do you think you need to see her?
Well, she's moving here, like I said, for my grandparents mostly, and I see them probably every other week. So I would also be happy to see the grandparents and my mom together in some form of, check it all off at once.
This is how, okay, like your mom sowed the seeds of guilt. That was what she was doing when she said, how often do you see your partner's family? And you
Yep.
you were very wise. You said once a month. Now,
Yep.
what you should do is you should sow the seeds. You should get in front of the guilt by saying, I can't wait for you to get here. I want us to do would Shabbat dinner be a thing?
Maybe the
Fridays are
tricky
bad?
part with that is I work at a synagogue, so
Okay.
Fridays.
Okay, whatever it is, you get ahead of it and you say, I want us to do first Tuesday of the month mom dinner at our place. It's as if you've been thinking about nothing but the strategy. Like you've been thinking about nothing but spending time with her. So you're like, I got this great idea. Every first Tuesday, you're going to come over for tacos. St. Louis is known
Every
for its tacos.
first Tuesday on the odd months
I'm just saying, like-
of the lunar cycle
Every
when
month with
it's
the
the
only
new
28
moon,
days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you'll never have to see her.
If you get in front of it and say it like you've got this really exciting opportunity for you guys to hang out, but it's only once a month, she might be so overwhelmed by the gesture that she won't pay attention to the actual scheduling and how often it occurs. It's unlikely that she will miss that, but
Also, there's that thing called chunking where you like do a couple things at once. So like, maybe you could kind of target a few things that might be good to do with your mom. Maybe she likes to grocery shop. Maybe she wants to come with you to this. Like maybe she'll drive. Maybe I don't know. Like try to think of a benefit, something she's good at that you guys like to do together, almost like you're dating or something.
Here's what happened with my mom when she moved because my mom lives around the corner, and Natasha was really concerned that she'd be over here like knocking on the door every morning at 8:30 with a cup of coffee, which was not an unreasonable fear based on my mom's personality.
Well, because we'd be like, okay, don't come over in the morning, and then she would come over in the morning.
Yeah, and she'd have like spats on and a cane and a top hat, and she'd be doing like a Bing Crosby number. And she's deaf, so it really was a little bit off. But so we had this big conversation with my mom where we were like,
No,
hey,
I didn't have it.
I did, but I threw where it was. I call it the throwing on the Natasha under the bus symposium, where I was like, Natasha's a little worried that now that you're moving so close that you'll be here too much. So it's just we want to make sure that I made these like really clear boundaries. Now my mom doesn't take things as personally as I'm assuming yours does based on the last name, and she. But here's what happened: she doesn't ever come over now. Like she feels like really now that might be a sweet.
Wait, is that what happened?
Yes, 100%. She's like so worried about stepping on your toes that she really doesn't come over, and now I have to always.
She comes over
when I invite her. She only comes when invited, which is not a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying
I just always thought she liked her house better.
I'm sure she likes her house better, but she would love to spend time with her little boy. Don't you think?
But you go see her all the time.
I'm not complaining. I'm just letting you know what happened. But how would your mom?
Now I feel bad.
Well, there you go. Mission accomplished.
Sorry to bring this all back up, guys.
What would happen if you said to your mom, hey, now that you're moving, I just want to have a conversation about like boundaries and how often we see each other because I've got my own life going. Well, how would that conversation go?
I think she would probably hear it, but also it would make her really sad. And I would then like get that every time we're hanging out or anytime we talk. Like, so I feel like
she'd get over it though, because it's more important for her to be around her precious bubula than
That's you. You're the precious bubula.
Than to not.
So
she'll get over it.
I always think back to this Dan Savage article that I once read where somebody was talking about family tension and the holidays. And he's like, what do I do? Because when we go to the holidays, we're around my parents or maybe it was his in-laws and it's always tense and it's always weird. Then we stay there and I feel trapped and claustrophobic. And Dan Savage was like, you just need to say before you get there, we're going to be staying at a hotel. And the family will react terribly. They will react terribly. They will make you feel guilty.
My mom reacted really badly but she also didn't want us to stay at her place.
So they'll react terribly. They'll make you feel guilty. They'll say you don't love us. You think we're shit. You think we're awful. But they'll react terribly once. And then every subsequent holiday season from that point on, once you've established a precedent of we stay in hotels, they won't mention it again. So I think your strategy is you start with the get ahead of it, the passive aggressive, try to get ahead of it. Oh, first Tuesday, tacos, yay. We'll do a different restaurant in St. Louis. We'll go on a restaurant tour of St. Louis the second Tuesday of every month, and we'll try every great restaurant in St. Louis. And then if that doesn't work, if you are noticing that mom is encroaching on your space, then you do the real conversation. Because you said you have a mom that could hear it, even though she'd be sad. She'd be sad for a while, but then eventually your relationship would probably be better because you have the boundaries, rather than every time she comes over, you resent her and are like, fucking mom's here again. That's what I think.
True.
Natasha?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just all practice and just making sure that, you also want to make sure she's not annoying your boyfriend so much that he doesn't want to eventually stay with you. So,
or
tell her to back off.
Or if they get too close, he could, it's happened, he could leave her for you. Leave you for her. And because she seems, to be honest, she's like a wild Arizona woman. She's coming to Missouri with all that crazy Arizona energy, that Lake Havasu topless sort of tanned lady energy. And I would watch your man, to be honest.
Yeah. She's Mrs. Steal Your Man.
She is Mrs. Steal Your Man. All right. Have we helped you? I feel like we have.
Yeah, very much. Yeah, you've given me a lot of clarity. So thank you guys for your advice.
Oh, yeah, we did it.
All right.
Another one bites the dust. Good luck out in Missouri.
Thank you guys. Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.
Wait, Moshe, I thought your mom was happy with the situation.
She is. All I'm saying is that when we set a firm boundary, it was set so firmly that that sometimes I'm like, I feel like, oh, she doesn't feel comfortable like saying, hey, can I come over? She's waiting for me to invite her, which probably is very positive.
But you forget things, so you're not the best person to be inviting her over. So should I be inviting her over?
Maybe if you'd like, if you are so moved, I think you should.
All right.
We've really had a breakthrough.
Well, I have to go prepare to have your mom over.
Well, all I was saying, I was just helping Lucy with her situation.
No, I like it.
We have another caller, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Are we doing a call?
Hey, Tosh.
Yeah, Moshe?
You know, I signed up for some subscription thing the other day, and then I went to Siri to like remind me in a month to cancel it, and then I remembered Rocket Money. Rocket Money can do it for me.
Yeah, I love Rocket Money. People have been talking about this. I've been telling people about it. It's such a great way to not waste your money.
It's a new year, and you should get with the fiscal responsibility that you know you've been negligent about. And Rocket Money is an unbelievable tool for that. You ever feel like money's just like flying out of your account and you don't even know where it's going? It's subscriptions. Think about it. Between streaming services, fitness apps, delivery services, parenting apps, it's endless. I do this. I've done
When are we
this.
just going to go crazy?
I feel crazy now, but I found Rocket Money and they brought me back to sanity. They help you find what subscriptions you're actually spending money on, which ones you're using. It really helps. And when I used it, it was so eye-opening. I had them cancel the ones that I didn't want anymore. I started saving money immediately.
Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills.
Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has helped its members save an average of $720 a year with over 500 million in canceled subscriptions.
Stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions today by going to rocketmoney.com/honeymoon.
That's rocketmoney.com/honeymoon. Start your new year right. rocketmoney.com/honeymoon.
What if she's supposed to be good at math and I don't know how to do math?
Well,
and I'm not like modeling that.
I mean, I don't think that her destiny lies in numbers. I'm not getting a beautiful mind vibes from her, but
But when she gets up on stage and she just shuts down.
I mean,
If she were going to have, like, I remember my first time on stage, I was like, oh, here's my loving audience.
Was it in kindergarten?
No, probably like 4th grade.
All I'm saying is,
So kindergarten's young.
yeah, Natasha, kindergarten's young. It's the youngest one. Yeah. You just find that out?
No, there was TK.
Right, but it's the youngest one of the grades. It's like a classic.
I know. I'm just saying.
Do you know that?
I'm just saying in the grand scheme of things.
Do you know that
in the timeline that is her life?
Yes. Do you know that seniors are the oldest kids in school?
I just don't know when your interests come.
Well, she might have burgeoning interests now, but you know that whole idea in parenting where you're supposed to be a shepherd? You're just supposed to lead them where they're going. You're not supposed to tell them where to go. You just sort of, you
But you have
them.
so much control over that. Like, I decide that she does piano and I decide that she goes to gymnastics. I could just as much decide she did something else.
Can I be honest with you? I know what her interest is, and she told me she was scared to tell you because
Don't say DJ.
It's not
Don't
DJing.
say it.
It's not. She was scared to tell you because of all the pressure that you were putting on her to be in the performing arts.
I do not even want her to be in the performing arts.
Well, that's not what she told me. And she told me what her passion is, and she's uncomfortable telling you.
What is it?
Bodybuilding. I'm serious. Competitive bodybuilding. She wants to be the youngest Miss Universe.
Oh my God, that would be a nightmare.
Can you imagine? She's like, I decided
It's beauty pageant and mixed with like hurting yourself with weights.
And steroids. Yeah, and over tanning and grease. I mean, how fucking crazy would it be if she's like, I found my destiny and it is in the world of competitive bodybuilding.
What were you just telling me in soccer that they would, when they're like 10 years old, they start didn't David Beckham get put in a class when he was like 8?
In England, the soccer clubs, apparently, based on this David Beckham documentary, they'll sign the soccer prodigies when they're like 9, 10 years old, and they'll join the team.
So we got 5 years left to find out what her passion is.
Oh, well, maybe it's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I'm about to sign her up for a class.
All right, I'm a tiger mom. I get it.
You think you're a tiger mom? Yeah, I don't think that's true, honey. I think you're a little too busy with your own career to be a tiger mom.
No, but I'm like a tiger mom in the sense that I obsess about my child in my head. I just think about her like
That's
potential.
not what a tiger mom is.
A tiger mom like
No, a tiger mom
propels them into excellence.
A tiger mom drills the child into into excellence, into performance, into you.
But not performing
Here's what a
arts.
tiger mom would do.
Yes.
Okay, she would have taken our child after she didn't sing and say, "You cannot ever not sing in a recital. You must perform. You must be excellent." Right? What you do instead is come onto your podcast and make fun of her. You are not a tiger mom. You are a bad mom. I'm just kidding. You're a great mom, honey. You are. And it's such a... I think what people who don't have kids maybe don't understand is like these little moments, they're heartbreaks, not because of the circumstances, but because they have all these...
implications.
Yes.
Because she did the same thing with the dancing one.
You think...
We got to the dancing one and then she didn't dance and just sat there. And then I was like, well, singing, she knows the song. She's so verbal, she's going to sing. And then she didn't sing.
But what I have come to understand, or believe anyway, about these implications is that 90% of them or more are implications that you superimpose on them, not because of what they're doing, but because of what your childhood was like. I know that for me. Like when I see her not being able to pay attention, I go back into my own childhood where I was like all fucked up and school was a nightmare and a chore and I was getting tested for ADD, and like it's all about me like applying my trauma onto extremely innocent behavior. And I think that's what this is. Like she didn't sing in a fucking isn't that like the most classic thing in the world? Now, if she had been picking her nose and eating it, how would you be feeling right now?
I would tell her.
You would.
I have already told her. I
You're a
said,
tiger mom when it comes to boogers.
yes, I've told her before. I'm always like, do you need a Kleenex? Or I'll be like, you can't. It's very unhealthy if you ever eat your snot.
It's very unhealthy.
Yeah, and I said,
cool.
and if I see you do it, I'm gonna have to take you to the doctor because it's
This is why I don't like lying.
Sanitary. That's what I said. I said it's
Unsanitary
it
is
is
worse.
unsanitary.
That's true. But
and
take
I
you
told
to the
her
doctor?
if she keeps doing it, maybe there's something wrong with her.
Oh my God, Natasha, that is not the way.
Well,
sure
it made
that's-
her not do it, and I bet you if that kid. It's also not the way to be picking your nose and eating it at a holiday recital.
That is true. That is not the way. That is not in the holiday spirit. You know what they always say? A booger ain't no sugar plum. That's a classic.
Ew.
All right, we got another caller. We got Sam calling in from Canada.
Oh, Canada.
That's not how the song goes in any way.
Yes, it does.
No, it goes, oh, Canada.
Oh, this is the Joni Mitchell version. Sorry, Moshe, not the patriotic version, but also
of the national anthem of Canada.
I was just singing, the cooler "Oh Canada."
Sam, will you sing the entirety of the Canadian national anthem
no
real
one
quick
asked
before
me
we start?
to sing that. Hi, Sam.
Hey.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. We were speaking of our kid in recitals. I don't know what it's like, Sam. I assume it's different in Canada, but our child does the national anthem and the Pledge of Allegiance every day. And when I found that out, I was shocked. I was appalled, shocked, and I realized I went to a communist public school system. I never did that growing up. Anyway, Sam, they don't do that in Canada, do they? Do they make you pledge allegiance?
You used to have to sing the national anthem. That was a thing. I don't know if you have to do that anymore.
Right.
But
you like pledge allegiance to maple syrup or something like that.
yeah, something like that.
Sam,
I went to a Catholic school, so it was quite terrifying.
Yeah, there you go.
There were worse things happening. Yeah.
Sam, what's up? How can we help?
So I've got a very hot, smart doctor girlfriend who I love very much, but we don't live together, and her house looks like it belongs to a college bro.
Okay.
We are both working. We both work in healthcare, and we're both busy. And I completely understand why like she doesn't prioritize her space, but there's like crumbs in the bed and crusty ass kitchen.
First of all, ground rule, no eating in bed. That is a ground rule for a slob. Some nice, neat ladies deserve to eat in bed, but she's not one of them. And Moshe, you're not one of them.
I'm
so
not a
sorry.
nice, neat lady at all. And it is true that
no eating in bed.
Natasha has made a rule in our house, no eating in bed rule. And I I adhere to it most of the time.
He eats candy in bed still, but
because
that
candy
at
it's harder to have.
isn't crackers.
But no. My candy, Sam. Just so you know, my candy is gummy candy, and I don't get to do sour gummy candy in bed. It's only like smooth. That's a good bed snack. Like a Butterfinger in bed, that's a no right there. That's a big no. Okay. What do you do? Are you a nurse?
I'm becoming a social worker.
A social worker. So you're not, because what I wanted from you, this would be easy if you were like a bit of a loser. You know, like unfortunately, social work requires like all of your heart and soul and mind. But like if you were like a bum, this would be so easy. It'd be like, well, you're with a doctor, so suck it up and tidy up because you lucked out in the lottery and clean up after the doctor. But a social worker, that's just as important as a doctor in some ways, and you can't do all the work either.
Well, you guys definitely need to pool your resources to have a house cleaner come once a week. And
I absolutely would if I wasn't in school and had a proper income right now.
You don't live together.
We don't live together.
I see. No. And your girlfriend is a doctor, meaning she probably can afford a housekeeper. Is that correct?
She is finishing her residency, so soon. Yes.
Can you guys stay at your house more?
So I'm married. And I live with my partner, who I am married to.
So this is your poly partner has crumbs in the bed? Suck it up, Sam. Count your blessings.
Oh my God.
I mean, that is so funny to be like in this awesome situation where you're like, well, every other Tuesday, I get to make love to a doctor, but unfortunately, it's a little bit messy over there. I mean, okay, no. I think that's fine because they're your partner, and therefore you want from them what you would want from any partner, right? Have you had a conversation with her about the mess?
I haven't, and honestly, I could live with it up until a point, but. She's also recently started constructing these dolls where I think it's her way of releasing some tension after work, where she will meld like the head of a Barbie to a troll. So her house is now like full of like doll bits and things, and it's just like getting to be a lot.
Okay,
this is by the way definitely a bros dorm room. I didn't see it at first, but now that you say that there's doll bits everywhere, yes, I'm thinking bros dorm room.
And so this woman of yours, she doesn't have a partner. Are you her only partner?
She does have a partner, but they don't live together, and they are not going to live together. Okay, so it's really her space.
So this is her space, and I think that maybe you could ask her. Obviously you think she's super hot, so you don't want to
rock the boat too hard.
But you could ask her if you guys could have your own safe sex space, whatever you guys are doing, but like one space that's like a little like clean, that doesn't have doll part, like maybe it's the bedroom and maybe you help her keep it neat. And if it's just one space, I mean, would that make you feel it sounds like you're just kind of like down to just have sex with each other once every, so it's like as long as you have
I like that idea.
The clean, like if I had that, like if I was like, okay, Moshe, the bedroom like no socks.
Space.
It's our space to hang out. We can watch TV in there. We can like light a candle. We can just make it no doll parts, no crumbs.
Right. No doll parts. No. I think that's really wise advice because it doesn't.
Let's get some really cool sheets. I'll help you. I'll help you keep it clean.
Clearly, this woman. Is sloppy, obviously, but also probably part of her process as a person is to explode. Probably her residency is so stressful for her that when she gets home, she wants her house to be this like wild explosion, and you have to kind of like accept that that's who she is. But I think it's okay. And I think that's really smart, Natasha, to say, I don't want to judge your whole thing. That's not, I get it. You got doll stuff, you got all this, but could we make a thing where, and using all positive language, where the bedroom becomes our special space, so that we can, and I'll help you make it that way. I'll help you clean. I'll make it. I'll make the bed.
You
with
could help her set the precedent of how it could be.
Yeah.
Because I could
That's
say
the tricky thing, is we're only together once a week, and so I don't want her to have to maintain this thing all the
I mean,
time.
it'd probably be good for her.
yeah, it probably would. And to be honest, Natasha,
You could get room spray.
some of Natasha's proclamations about tidiness, specifically around like eating in the bed and things like that, these are things that I had on, and I bet this is true with your partner, I had never even really thought about before they started to bother her. She started to bring them up, and I was like, I guess actually, yeah, that makes sense. I could see it wasn't comfortable. I wasn't like, oh, cool, you think I'm like kind of gross, but it made me go, oh, I see, another person is in my space. I live with another person now. I get it. And you're in a different position because it's just once a week. So that's where I think, honestly, you come in, where you say, let's start our date with, I'll come in and we'll tidy up the room or whatever.
I mean, that's the problem. Like, that's why it's hard for me to imagine being in a poly relationship, because I feel like to get Moshe where I want him, I have to whittle like every day.
It's a full-time job.
It's just like, he used to like,
Absolutely.
I mean, like now there's so many things. Like you wear headphones, like that was a big thing. Like he would stay up and watch things and I would just deal with it. And then you're like, oh wait, no, I could have this work for me and work for him. And it's like a slow process constantly. So
right. And like Natasha's sexually frigid and has been for many years. And so slowly we've been working on that, on melting that iceberg. Just kidding. Natasha's a sexual animal. But yeah, that is the challenge of polyamory, isn't it? Is that you think of it as this like wonderland of like getting laid, but in fact, you're dealing with relationship issues with like multiple people.
With boundaries too. Like you don't really have the right to say something in this like poly thing as much as you do.
I think you do. Right? Right, Sam? You would know more than us.
Yes. I mean, we've been together for almost 3 years, so I think the conversation just hasn't come up yet. But to your point, Natasha, my partner, we've been together for 15 years, and it is a slow slog of whittling down everything that he does that disgusts me.
Breaking him down.
It's real.
Sapping his life force, snapping him like a twig until he is just a pile of sticks that you can then set on fire.
It's almost like our new dog, how he wants to like bite everyone in the butt to hurt them. You're like hurting them towards something.
But I just had like a revelation. It's like when you're in a poly relationship, especially one where you're not like full-time dating the other person, it takes longer, probably, this is just a guess, it takes longer to reach your saturation point where conversations like this are necessary. It's like your relationship is being meted out over a weekly appointment, and so you finally are at the point where you've been with her long enough and you've seen her often enough where the thing, it's not just all love and endorphins. Now it's like, okay, the reality of being in a relationship with this person, even an unusual, unorthodox relationship, is hitting, and I have to have a conversation. It's the classic advice. You just have to talk about it.
And
That's
doing
smart. Yeah,
doing one room, and like you shouldn't be worried about her having to maintain one room in her house. Like it's not like you're asking her to overhaul her whole, hot gluing trolls onto Encanto figures or whatever she's doing.
No, but this is real. If it wasn't polyamory and it was just you had a booty call, I would probably be like, I don't think this is your business. Like, just go there and get laid and take off. But if the idea is you are in a relationship with this woman, then this is a relationship issue. And I think Natasha's advice is perfect. Like, let her be her weird doll-making self, but say the bedroom specifically, which makes a lot of sense, that can be a space where I can be comfortable.
I have a question because I don't have a lot of poly friends. So don't you ever like when you're with this
You get rid of your friends when they become poly, right?
No, but wait. Here's what I'm curious about. When you're with this doctor, aren't you ever like think you maybe love her more than the other person you live with all the time who's annoying?
It's a different sort of relationship. I mean, I've been with my husband for 15 years. We are like best pals. We love each other. We've developed something, and then the two of us sort of opened our relationship up, and we have all sorts of different relationships, and we meet new people and they come into our lives and bring us new things and stuff. So No, not really.
Moshe,
Not
does
really.
does that appeal to you, Moshe?
First of all, I just want to say every man wants a partner to tell him that you're my best pal. I mean, that's all anybody wants. I mean, no, but isn't the idea with polyamory? I think you're missing a basic fundamental principle of polyamory. I think the foundational principle of polyamory is love is not a finite resource, and you are able to like love multiple people in multiple ways, and it doesn't diminish the amount. I'm not saying it would work for me. I'm saying that is the principle. I can love her and him, and neither of them take away from the other.
Then why can't that also mean maybe your capacity for love is just very shallow?
Wait, why?
Because maybe you can't go deep. Because maybe if you went deep, you'd only be able to have one.
Yeah.
Well, there's
Sam,
I don't know.
there's
Sam, is your
there's
capacity
different
for love
things
extremely
too, right?
shallow?
Like maybe there's someone in your life, Natasha, that can fulfill you in a way, and I don't just mean sexually, but like fulfill something that Moshe just doesn't have an interest in.
Sam, that's all the time we have. That's all the time we have for this call. What the fuck are you doing, Sam? I'm over here yes-anding polyamory, and you're trying to get her to go find somebody?
But then you're saying then it ends in sex too.
No, I think what
have to.
they're saying is like that in a polyamory framework. Tell me if you disagree, Sam. That it's not that you aren't getting a lot out of one partner. It's just that somebody else might have a thing that your partner never had to offer you.
Of course somebody else has a thing. Obviously, there's someone who can like pick up the slack for an area of your partner, but choosing to do it and go after it and be completely fulfilled make sure that every single aspect of your partner is, I don't know, it just feels like ideal, I guess. But then
polyamory feels ideal.
No, it feels like a little too good to be true.
Well, I guess
is kind of what I'm getting at.
I think that is, from what I understand, that is the fundamental misunderstanding from a
cis-het scumbag.
No, from a cis-het scumbag like you, a bigot, a horrifying bigot like yourself, Natasha, is that polyamory is, this is what we were just talking about. Polyamory is just like an orgy every night. And it's just like nothing but carnal pleasure, and you're just like...
That's not what I'm saying.
No,
it's just
I'm not,
like obviously people are lacking in things.
I'm not suggesting that you're saying that. I'm saying that people often, when they look from a more traditional perspective into polyamory, think, oh yeah, it's easy. You're just like sex. But actually, polyamorous people say, no, it's like relationship, and work. It actually requires, in some ways, more.
Okay.
Sam, yes?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
But you still get to fuck two people.
You do get to fuck two people, and that is a pretty nice little bit of cream on top.
You're like, I'm willing to deal with 2 to 3 people's shit so that I can have a little bit of variety. In fact, one has a penis.
Yeah.
One has a vagina.
Men are from Mars.
That's why it started for us, was when we decided that we were going to spend our lives together. I said, that's great, and I love you, but you have a penis, and I don't only want a penis for the rest of my life. So let's figure out how to do that.
Yeah, when it comes to that, to sexuality, sexual orientation, it almost seems like if you're bi or what's the other thing that's not bi but is bi? What's that called?
Like pan or queer.
Pan, right? Yeah, that. Where you go and you go into a traditional relationship, then you just take that part of your sexuality. You're expected to take that part of your sexuality and just go like, I won't ever. That'll be gone now, and that does, in a way, seem like an unfair proposition that polyamory can solve or whatever. I guess I don't have that issue. And I wish that there was a fundamental, real existential reason that I should convince Natasha that we should open things up.
Listen, the only thing I'm looking for in a poly relationship is a guy who's like a neat freak.
Yeah, she just wants a man to come over and clean the house.
I want him to like be really anal about the dishes. He never leaves a sock on the floor. He'll have like germ issues.
Oh, that's a very funny idea that you went into polyamory just to find like an anal retentive man.
Who doesn't leave his shit everywhere.
Honestly, it sounds like the two of you should date, Sam. If you're looking for a third, I think Natasha will keep the house very clean for you.
All right. Well, hopefully we've helped. Let us know how it goes. And thanks for filling me in on all things poly.
You bet.
Thank you, Sam. Well, that was fun. That's an interesting idea that in a polyamorous relationship, especially when you're not dating both people full time, the timeline is stretched so that the thing that would annoy you takes 3 years. Whereas
Right.
in a full time relationship with someone, you'd get to that annoyance
You're gnawing at them all the time.
boiling point in like months. Yeah, that's very interesting.
All right. Well, if something's gnawing at you, maybe you've got a deep, dark secret, give us a call at 213-222-8608.
And if you'd like to be a guest on our podcast like Sam, give us an email. Go ahead and give us an email. endlesshoneymoonpod@gmail.com. We can get you on the podcast. We'd love to have you.
Also, don't forget about our Patreon. We have quarterly dinner parties. I've been in the art factory like Andy Warhol making art with my daughter for all of our supporters. And it comes framed. You're also going to get one of my books, one of Moshe's books, and ad-free episodes.
You get our books if you're at a certain tier. Let me just say that. If you're not at that tier, that's okay. You can order.
The aspirational tier, we
That's
call
right.
it.
You can pre-order my book. You can order Natasha's book. You can come see us live doing stand-up. I'm going on book tour, by the way. I'm going to be coming to a bunch of different cities. I'm going to be in Los Angeles, Austin, San Francisco, DC, New York, and Portland. If you live there, you can come see me live. And if not, you can pre-order a book. And I have a online book event happening February 26th. I believe it's February 26th. I'll have more information about that soon. Natasha, even though we're not poly, I love you.
I don't get to do my dates?
Of course.
I just wanted to say thanks to everyone who came to see me in Denver, Salt Lake City, and I forgot the other places I was at. San Diego. That was so fun, and maybe I'll book some more shows soon.
Okay.
Sorry, that was an important plug.
That was significant. Natasha, you're a great performer, a great mother, and a great wife, and I love you.
I love you too.